Welcome back to episode 68 of the Shy Sports Weekly podcast. One episode short of a very magical episode. But first, Ty, Kyle, how we doing, boys?
Oh, we're already on to next week, huh? This is a
69,
hey,
baby.
this is a trap episode.
I mean, the fact that we made it this far is pretty impressive.
It is. We're gonna have to reverse everything next week. The reverse episode.
Start counting down.
Yeah. Seriously. No, everything's good. Good weekend. I know the Bears were poo-poo, but you know who's not poo-poo? The Cubs. Jesus Christ.
The Cubs are, I mean,
Hot.
the amount of good stats I saw about the Cubs was like, it was Cubs and Bears polar opposites right now.
The Cubs are too hot to trot. Yeah, they are. I don't know. Honestly, like, say you're going to be a 70, 75, 76 win team. Give me all those wins at the end of the year so I could have good juju going into the next season.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking the exact same thing.
I don't want to limp into the finish line here.
I mean, I've been following them, but I think you've been following them a little more closely. They're on a 7-game win streak right now. What, 11-1 in their last 12? Like, what? Why? Like, why is this happening? What's going right for them?
Pitching. Oh my God, dude, they're shoving. It's crazy. And they're doing it. I mean, even their bullpens just lights out.
What's
Like,
funny is heading into the season, everyone was like, yeah, their pitching is going to just completely ruin them.
And I mean, to be honest, for the first half, it was. Stroman was hurt, and Hendricks was just bad in general. I'm trying to think who else. Wade Miley was hurt the whole time. But during this 7-game win streak, I have this up actually. Our friend Tony Andracki tweeted this out. So during their 7-game win streak, their starters have a 1.15 ERA, and their relievers have a 1.50.
I mean, that's insane.
That is insane.
Do you feel like you can count on that for next season too, or do you think it's more of an anomaly? I mean, obviously not that dominant, but I mean, just like any kind of carryover.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think a byproduct right now is that they've had a weak second half schedule, but you play who's on your schedule or your calendar. With that being said, they've also swept the Mets and swept the Phillies, so those teams are going to be in the playoffs here.
I mean, they have a better second half record than the Yankees. Obviously, a better second half record than the White Sox. That's probably my favorite stat.
Yeah. Since September 12th,
the Brewers too, and maybe even they're right there with the Mets. Like,
ooh, we're getting into Cubs talk, huh? We're just doing this right away. I love this. Since September 12th, I've seen this stat. They've had like the second best record in baseball, which is like such an arbitrary date. It's weird. All right, so in the second half here, yeah, the Cubs have the 8th best record in baseball. They're 38-29, which is better than like I'm strictly off win percentage in the second half. Better than the Mariners, the Phillies, the Padres, the Rays, the Brewers, the Yankees, the Sox.
Like, I don't like to kick Sox fans while they're down, but I have to for a second here. The Sox are going to finish with a record closer to the Cubs than they are to the Guardians.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, for a team that had those World Series aspirations, it's just not good.
I mean, we talked about it at the beginning of the season. We said, was the White Sox window closing, World Series window closing faster than the Cubs was.
I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, as of right now, I don't know who you can say like definitively either way. Like, the Sox are ahead of the Cubs. Not at all.
No.
Which is 1,000%. Just like if you would have told Sox fans that at the beginning of the season, they would have hung themselves.
Right.
Like, that's terrible. Right now they should have been, gearing up for another long October. And instead if
there's ever been a time where Tom Ricketts has to absolutely for sure open his pocketbook back against the wall, it's right now. Because he made a pledge to do it, and now with the team closing out the season like this, like, people are expecting fireworks this offseason.
Oh, yeah. So since September 12th, I pulled this up. The Cubs, Schwarber leadoff homer against the Astros. God damn it. Max Curse. Max Curse is alive and well. Better than ever, baby.
Full effect.
I feel like Schwarber's done that to me many a time, too.
Yeah, yeah. And it's you know what it is? It's like I'm not even mad. I'd like when if he does it, I'm just happy. Good for him. Love Schwarbs. So since September 12th, and the Cubs are 15-4, have the second best record in baseball behind the Guardians, who are 17-4. Like that's yes, they've over that time they played, I think the Rock in that time they actually lost 2 of 3 to the Rockies, which
Yep.
is kind of crazy to think. And the Rockies stink. But yeah, the Cubs just man, I don't know. Like Seiya's been over his last 30 games. I saw a stat he was hitting like 337.
Yeah. His slash
Like
line
everything
was
is just
three,
coming.
four, five in the threes, fours, and fives.
Like everything is just. I mean, it just seems like it's coming together slowly but surely. I don't know that everything's trending up, and I love to see it. I really do.
I gotta say, at the beginning of the season, it was hard to imagine where the light at the end of the tunnel was for the Cubs, but it seems pretty clear right now. Who are you hoping that they go after in the offseason?
It's a good question. I've thought about this. So if you look at their rotation next year, it's going to be for sure 100% locked in. You could write it in pen.
Stroman.
Stroman, Justin Steele, Hayden Wesneski, right?
Yep. And
Like
probably
those
Keegan Thompson rounding out the back.
those three guys. So yeah, and like obviously there's Keegan Thompson's there. You have Hendricks as well. Um, I almost think maybe you bring back Drew Smiley and then you go get like a Carlos Rodon or
Yep.
you
That's
you
been a that's
find
been a
you
hot name
find
that
an
I've
like
seen.
a bona fide ace somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen Rodon tied to the Cubs.
Like
Um,
someone who has a 10-inch cock and knows it.
not trying to get too crazy here, but I mean the Mets have the option to pick up DeGrom's contract, right, for another year. Like,
Mhm.
what if DeGrom's available?
I honestly think that ugh, I mean, yeah, of course, I'd fucking love that. But there's no way I don't think Steve Cohen, or is that the Mets owner? Is
Yeah,
that his name? I don't know why I get his name confused, but I don't think there's no shot that he's leaving New York.
yeah.
I honestly, and I don't think if DeGrom was actually available, yeah, of course I'd love DeGrom. If you'd be an idiot to say you wouldn't want DeGrom, I think Carlos Rodon has got to be a more realistic option.
Yeah, as far as
He's a
pitching
lefty that
goes,
throws gas.
right. Yeah, he's a good front end guy. He just needs to stay healthy, and when he does, he's been dominant over the past couple of years. Um, I've seen Carlos Correa as like people are talking about he's like a sure thing. Like he might as well be donning the pinstripes already. Um, I don't know how I feel about that. Like I think I'd rather go in the direction of like Trey Turner, or like Bogarts. But
Okay, I'm glad you said it first, so that like you can get yelled at, and it's not my hot take. But I kind of agree. I would rather have Trey Turner over Carlos Correa.
yeah,
But this also isn't saying that if the Cubs sign Carlos Correa, I'm not going to be 6 to midnight real quick.
oh, I'll be completely bought in.
Yeah, like why would I not be?
But then I'll
But
be the
I think
same guy in the middle of the season that when he's like hitting 250 and maybe has a stint on the IL, like I'll be saying I told you so.
this motherfucker. Yeah, I don't know. I think Turner. It's interesting because Correa, like he can mash it out of the yard.
Yeah.
He hits for power. He's good defensively, but with Turner, you get that high average. You get a guy who's probably a better version of Nico Horner. He's got speed. I mean, he could hit up for a little bit of power.
I mean, the dude's basically a 5 tool player.
All right, so yeah, he is. He definitely is. So if they say they get Trey Turner, what does your infield look like next year? Like, what do you do with Nico, and what do you do with Nick Madrigal?
I mean, Turner's at short. I feel like you could put Nico at second or third. I think I don't know. I mean, you're probably putting Nico at third and Madrigal at second.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, honestly, I would not hate that. I think Nico's so versatile, and then you have McKinstry, and you're not gonna give him a job, but
Mm-hmm.
he's also looked like someone who can over the past couple of weeks who is at least a versatile option. And they have
Yep.
depth, and that's one thing that they have going for them. Right, they're like moving forward, I should say, is that they've built up this depth that go get a couple guys, couple big end, front like a front end starter or yeah, a Turner or Correa,
Yep.
and let's play in the parade. Let's have some fucking fun.
So if those are the two guys that they get, and then they, I don't know, maybe go grab a couple veterans, shore up the bullpen a little bit. Like, what do you think realistic expectations are for them next year?
Fighting for a wild card spot. I'll say anywhere in that like 86 to 91 win range.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you get hot at the end of the season, and it also like, yeah, it's 5 games different, but that could also depend like on like how fucking bad are the Reds? Like,
Right.
like are the Reds just so bad where every game against you go like 12-2 against them? Not that that's realistic, but something along those lines.
Yep.
Actually, what will be interesting next year too, and with the schedule is they play every team. This is
Oh, yeah,
it'll be
that's
the
right.
first time every year that they play every team. So I don't know how that affects the schedule.
I actually
or
like
the
that.
record, really. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, shit, as Cubs fans, we never see Trout or Ohtani.
Anyone who doesn't like that is probably an old head that doesn't like the DH in the National League. Doesn't like replay.
Yeah, no fun. No fun at all. All right. That was a lot of Cubs talk right off the bat.
I digress.
I love it. No, I like it. We can.
When the Cubs are on an 7-game win streak heading into October, we talk about it. So
yeah, we'll talk about the Sox for a quick second here. Tony La Russa retired today.
that's a win for the Sox.
And that's talking Sox.
And I was talking Sox. Number 68. Who you got?
Well, we might as well stick with the Cubs. Jorge Soler.
The Cuban Missile. Did anybody ever call him that?
I mean, is there? Yeah, I don't know, but now we did.
But now we can.
Is there a better 68 than that? I don't think so. In Chicago?
Well, considering I haven't looked at any other number 68, let's see really quick. The Sox, yeah, no, they definitely don't have a number 68.
He was also the only number 68 in Cubs history.
I think Tommy Hotovy, their pitching coach right now, wears number 68.
That sounds right, actually.
And he's hot as shit. So, man, he's right up there.
Since this is an on this day Twitter page and podcast, do you remember? And it wasn't on this day, but do you remember when Soler? Did you do this in the 2015 playoffs? He was like 7 for 7, or he got on base 11 times in a row.
Yeah, I think that was against
the Cardinals.
Yeah. Oh,
he was just hitting frozen ropes all over the diamond.
Yeah, that one game. I think it was game 3 of the NLDS. Actually, it might have been both game 3 of the NLDS and game 3 of the NLCS. He hit 2 home runs that probably didn't get higher than like 15 feet off the ground.
Yes.
Just on a clothesline.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
No,
the dude's a freak with warm weather.
Yep.
Nobody's hated cold weather more than Jorge Soler.
Dude was wearing wetsuits, diving suits, playing at Wrigley in April.
Yeah, it'd be 65 out. He'd have a ski mask on. It was
honestly, even though it wasn't with the Cubs, I'm just glad that guy lived up to his full potential at one point in his career.
I mean, yeah, he won World Series MVP.
Yeah,
which is only player to, I think, make their MLB debut with the Cubs to win a World Series MVP.
Yeah.
Fun fact of the episode. Let's see. Other number 68s. No, I don't. Dylan Covey for the Sox. I just remember betting a bunch of no-score innings one game when he pitched. That's my extent of knowledge with him. For the Hawks, Slater Cuckoo.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
He sucked. There's honestly nothing to say about him. He was a former first rounder.
Cool name.
For the Bears, you got anyone?
Who did I find for the Bears?
I've got James Daniels.
Yeah, James Daniels. Jim Osborne.
What do you know about him? Anything?
Played for the Bears between 72 and 84. Sacks didn't even become an official stat until his 11th season, but he picked up 10 and a half of them.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, he's an old buck.
So
Jim Osborne, that just sounds like a defensive lineman.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not going to have a speedy receiver named Jim Osborne. No shot.
He definitely had the giant bar coming down the middle of his helmet.
Yeah, that was probably just a requirement back then. All right, well, let's go into 2015 on this days. This is a big one. We watched this game together. I remember that. Ty, I'm pretty sure you were there too. We were at some bar in Aurora or Naperville, that
Foundry.
racetrack bar, the Foundry. That's right.
Could have been.
So October 7th, 2015, NL wildcard game. Cubs beat the Pirates 4-0. First playoff win in 12 years. I mean, obviously, first. Do you count that as a series win as well?
Yeah, I guess.
First series win in 12 years. What are your reactions? What do you remember from that game?
So that game, or even or that time of year in that season, is like our Cubs fandom, and our just like feeling as a Cubs fan was just on a direct upward trajectory. Like,
oh my God, that was peak Cub fandom.
I mean, that was when you were just on the edge of your seat watching every pitch. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, the World Series is imminent, and that game was sick.
Do you remember? I don't know. We were going out to eat earlier in the day, and we saw a guy wearing a Pirates shirt, and I just said, "You're gonna." I just literally looked at him and said, "You're gonna lose."
That's the best kind of intimidation, with a straight face.
Yeah, I just said, "Good luck. You're gonna lose."
I know Schwarber went deep in that game. I think, didn't Rizzo drive in Bryant on a double into the corner in the first inning?
Schwarber drove in Fowler.
Okay.
Yeah, Fowler, I think, hit a single, then stole second on the first pitch, and Schwarber hit like a little dunk, a little blooper to score him. And I think Schwarber hit a 2-run homer in the third, and then I don't know how they got their fourth run.
And then one of the things I remember for sure was Starling Marte hit like 115 mile an hour rocket straight at Jesus Christ, who was playing shortstop?
Russell.
Addison Russell, and they turned two with bases loaded, 1 out, and they were up by like a run
in the 6th inning. No, it was 4-0 at that time. So I looked it up. At that time, it was 4-0, but the bases were loaded, and that was like the Pirates, coming back a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
And Arrieta shut that down. I do remember the Pirates. They hit Arrieta, and the bench is cleared. He's just such a mean motherfucker. He would just, I mean, he bats with no batting gloves, and he just
Jake Arrieta is an enigma.
So I want to ask you, so in that game, complete game shutout, 11 strikeouts, like, just, you want to talk about a 10-inch cock, like,
talk about intimidating. Imagine being Joe Madden and being like, all right, I got to go out there and get the ball from this guy. Like,
yeah, well, he didn't. So
you're just not. You're not. It's not. He's not letting go.
Yeah, good thing he didn't. So yeah, that game, like I said, complete game shutout. I was thinking about this earlier. If the Cubs don't win that 2015 wildcard game and don't advance in the playoffs and don't have that run to the NLCS, do you think they win the 2016 World Series?
Tell me why they wouldn't.
I don't know. Do you think just pressure going into that season? Yeah, you were talking about earlier, not to say that this next year's Cubs team is going to win the World Series, but yeah, just building that momentum, having that confidence that they know that they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably fair to say they don't, because it's similar to how we felt at the end of this season, except heightened or times 5 or 10. No one really expected the Cubs to be playing the Cardinals in the NLDS that season. It was almost like a year too early for them to be that good. And then
1,000%.
They beat the Cardinals, the all-time mortal enemy of just getting their asses kicked year after year by the St. Louis Cardinals, winning the NL Central. Beat them in the NLDS to go to the NLCS. Yeah, you're 100% right. That was, I mean, it was arguably one of the best feelings, as a fan or probably as a team, aside from winning the World Series the following season.
Yeah, revisionist history, but if the Cubs don't beat, I mean, let's go back to that Starling Marte at bat. Say Marte hit the grand slam there, it's 4-4.
Yep.
Or even if that ball's wait, shit, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My speaker or my headphones just died.
Ball gets through and rolls to the fence, 3 runs get in or something.
Yeah, just say that ball's hit, a cut hair to the right or whatever. It changes just the complexion of everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
and
butterfly
that's like
effect.
exactly.
Great
Like,
movie, by the way.
I think I'm starting to agree with you.
I mean,
For the
it's
record, I never disagreed with you, but you're pleading your case well here.
and then I was also thinking this: what if, or I shouldn't even say what if. Do you think that Jake Arrieta is the most important piece to the Cubs rebuild, so to say, and winning the World Series?
It's hard not to say John Lester, but yeah, I honestly those two guys are like side by side. I think.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, did Arrieta get 2 W's in that World Series? Pretty sure he did.
both on the road.
He won Game 2 and Game 6, right?
Yeah.
Hey, there's your
No,
Twitter
yeah.
poll question, by the way.
What is it?
Whatever you just asked.
Who was a more integral piece
Yeah.
to the Cubs winning the World Series, Jake Arrieta or John Lester? That's almost like,
It's like
jeez.
asking you to pick between your favorite kids.
Yes. Exactly.
Ooh, all right. Here. I'm gonna ask it right now. Ty, you're gonna have to cut this dead part out.
This
my-
is gonna start fights.
All right. So who was a more integral
Yep. Piece to the Cubs.
of the Cubs winning the World Series? John Lesta,
John, Mr. John himself.
Jake Arrieta. All right.
The question
Like
has
you could
been
even
asked.
put Rizzo in that poll too, but I think it makes sense to just leave the 2 pitchers.
I'm tagging you, Max B.
Okay.
We'll let the people decide.
There we go. Yeah, that's a I I was thinking of that one earlier today. And honestly, you could, I mean,
Think
is
about
it
that.
is it
Sorry,
weird to
go
have
ahead.
two right? You could have 2 right answers. There's
Yeah,
no
and
wrong.
I was gonna say the thing about that question is it made me think of like how many guys played such an integral part in that in winning the World Series. Like there are so many moments where different guys contributed.
Oh my god. I mean, all right, here, let's go to the next on this date. October 7th, 2016. So the same date, just a year later. Game 1 against the Giants, NLDS, Javi, 8th inning home run off Cueto. Pimped it like that ball was going to fucking Skokie. Landed
It
in the
still went
basket.
out. It still went out.
No, is that what he tweeted, right?
Yeah.
JV9. I mean, you could say that about him as well. There's so many just integral pieces of that run and
Right.
everything. But do you remember that like vividly that game 1? I feel like that game flew by.
Yes. Oh, it definitely did. I mean, it was a
It was
pitcher's duel.
It was
I don't
just
even know.
Cueto and Lester dealing.
Yeah, I don't even know how many base runners were in that game.
Not many. I'll tell you that right now. Not many.
But that's just one of those playoff games where it's just like every pitch, every play, like it's so intense. Like it's just everything matters, you know?
But that's the best thing about playoff baseball. You're just on the edge of your seat the whole time, just nervous farts, holding your butt. I mean, because I guess it's just playoff sports in general.
But going back to what you said about the butterfly effect, like there's so many instances you could point to, even from the beginning of that Giants series, where it's like if one little thing goes differently, who knows what happens?
Look, okay. Game 4, right? Down 3 runs in the 9th inning.
Yes.
They lose that. They're coming back home
To face Cueto again, right?
in game 5. Yeah. Like anything can happen.
Right.
It just, I love that. I love a good revisionist history.
Yep.
Gets all fucked up. Okay. Say they don't win in 2016. Do you think they, this is really going down a rabbit hole. Do you think they like go all in, like all in for the next season? And then maybe that leads to more World Series. So spin zone, was it 2016?
No, I won't go there. I can't go there.
Okay, good.
I feel like Theo did everything in his power to build a juggernaut, and honestly, it kind of blew up in his face a little bit. But
Just a fucking powerhouse of a team.
someone already responded to your poll and said, "Why are you making us choose one?" Like the people's heads are literally gonna short wire after looking at this poll. Like
Yeah.
the smoke's gonna start coming out of my ears.
It's crazy. I know. Trust me. I know. All right. Let's talk some Bears. What were your did you watch the game? I know you're on a little bit of a bender in Nashville, but
I was
you
in
watched
Music
it?
City.
What were your reactions?
I honestly did not watch much of it. I followed like the score along on my phone. I saw some of the first half. I noticed at one point the score was like 17-12. Like that's just the kind of game that I expected.
It's a Bears score.
Yeah, exactly. But it kind of seemed like same old shit with them. Like Fields was like 10 for 21 with like 150 yards passing. People were cracking jokes that his best throw was on the last play of the game.
It was a dime though. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie either. It was a great throw.
Fade away.
But can't really feel good about the outcome of that one. Like the Giants are not a good team. And it felt like from what I did watch, like they were just carving them up on the ground. Like Saquon and Danny Pennies were running all over the place.
Dude, Saquon's he's just like a freak of nature. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
He's legitimately a freak of nature. They had this one play where it was like 3rd and 10, and they did a swing pass like 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And I think it was Nicholas Morrow he was one-on-one with Saquon and had the momentum and like wrapped him up. And Saquon's just fucking ripped through him.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's like
a bitch. It was crazy.
He's like the number 1 running back in fantasy right now. He looks like his old self. So, I mean, I can't hate on the Bears too much for not stopping him, but at the same time, it was just like it was way too easy. They were marching up and down the field, strictly running the ball.
Yeah. I mean, shit, at the end of the game, I mean, was it Danny Dimes hurt his ankle, then Tyrod had a concussion. They were literally running the triple option.
Yep.
Bears almost couldn't stop it. They were just it was like, what are they doing? Oh, it's a run.
And that's like the worst thing to watch against your own team is like they're just running it down your throat and there's literally nothing you can do to stop it.
Yeah, it's definitely demoralizing.
Yeah.
With that being said, I don't understand. I think the Bears fans' overreaction to them winning week 1 against the Niners, or I should say this. Let me backtrack. I think the Bears winning week 1 against the Niners almost is bad for Bears fans because I think that was giving them like a false sense of hope of this team being good. This team isn't supposed to be good. This team is supposed to stink, right?
True.
So
yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's almost masking the fact that like this was supposed to be like kind of a rebuilding year. Like they have a very low salary cap. Like they don't have many skill players. Like it wasn't supposed to be what it is.
Justin Fields has no time in the pocket. Like, all right, so I'm looking up, and we'll get into like the analytics and Pro Football Focus numbers and everything. So Justin Fields was under pressure for 51.4% of his dropbacks against the Giants. So literally every other dropback, he was under the gun.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Jesus Christ, Sam Mustipher, the Bears center, literally just a turnstile. They would just blitz like every play, and he was just like, like, you ever seen that meme or that video of the security guy like half-ass,
yes,
like checking people? That was Sam Mustipher, like to everybody, just going at
not even touching the guy, just like.
And also, Jesus Christ, Justin Fields, he was like, oh, this is a blitz, like they're doing this again. Like he could have looked more confused. It was kind of crazy. However, with that being said, when the pocket was clean, Fields went 10 of 14 for 168 yards with a Pro Football Focus with a PFF grade of 90.3, which again, I don't even know what that's on a scale of 100. So I mean, I guess that looks nice, but but this is another stat I wanted to throw at you, and I want to know where your poop and puke meter is. When was the last time the Bears had a quarterback with a passer rating over 100? I tweeted it out yesterday. I don't know if you saw it.
I don't think I did. Oh man, I think it was when Mitch Trubisky threw 6 touchdowns.
No. I mean, we've had it since then. That was in 2018 when Mitch threw 6 touchdowns. This was in 2020. So it was Mitch against the Texans in December of 2020. There's been 25 games since where the Bears have not had a quarterback start the game and finish the game. Like, just play the whole game. and have 100 over 100 passer rating. The only caveat I guess you could say is Andy Dalton last year, week 2. He played the first quarter and a little bit of the second quarter, but then got hurt and he had like 111, but he didn't finish the game. So he probably would have thrown a pick or two and then it would have went under. So I'm not gonna give him his flowers for that just yet.
I mean, yeah. No, we talk about it all the time, but it's like, and you watch that Chiefs Bucks game, and it's just a complete. These guys are playing a different game.
Different sport, like Mahomes. Yeah, he's like Allen Iverson out there. He's literally just playing like a completely different sport than everybody else. It's kind of outrageous, and it's phenomenal to watch him. But we're not a Patrick Mahomes podcast over here.
No, we're not. We could have been.
We should have been actually. With that being said, Justin Fields, he's God, I don't know how people are just like ripping on him. And I know I'm tweeting these stats out that are like it's more so an indictment on the Bears as a franchise than Justin Fields specifically, where they don't have an over 100 passer rating. Like he's not throwing it to anyone. He has no one to throw it to.
Right. Darnell Mooney finally had like a decent game. Like what, he had 5 catches or 4 catches for 94 yards. Like at least he finally is on the map now. But you're right. Like you can't point every loss or any struggle at Justin Fields. Like at some point the coaching staff has to take accountability.
Yeah. Like all right, so I was going through our good friend Clay Harbor's Twitter, and he does nice breakdowns. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry about that. He does great breakdowns, right, of the Bears and everything, and he's showing just a bunch of different plays, and just nobody's open like ever. Even on plays he's getting protection, it's like the Giants are in man coverage, nobody's open.
Funny you say that too, because there were a couple plays that I watched and I saw Fields had like 5 seconds in the pocket, like, and then eventually had to roll out. And I'm thinking to myself, someone has to be open. Like those are the plays where I'm sitting there as a casual fan, not being able to see what's going on downfield, wondering like, okay, does Justin Fields maybe suck? But if no one's getting open, like, what's the guy supposed to do?
I mean, he's legitimate. Like Clay Harbor's literally watching the all-22s, and he's saying like nobody's open. It's like, well, okay, well, yeah, you're not gonna throw it to a guy who's covered,
right?
So again, take every sort of, I'll say, progression for Justin Fields with a grain of salt. Like he's not all progression's linear, and he's throwing to guys like me and Max out there. Did you have anything else on the Bears? I'm trying to think. Any other positives that you read about?
Not many positives, to tell you the truth. I think I listed my only real one with Darnell Mooney almost getting 100 yards. He did make a nice catch. Khalil Herbert had a decent game. Did he get over 100 scrimmage yards? I know he had 77 on the ground.
Yeah, I'll say he did. We'll say he did. He had that 20-yard like screen pass, so
yeah,
at least 97.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't know. You just got to take your little wins because it's not going to get any easier. Like, you just got to keep an eye on player development and who we can kind of similar to like the Cubs. Like, you got to just take pieces of this team and be like, all right, who can we think about for next year?
Yeah. Don't go into every week thinking that the Bears are going to win. Listen, if they cover, that's a win. So they're 2-2 on the season right now, both against the spread and straight up. So that's
you gotta have that Vince Vaughn attitude from dodgeball.
Set those expectations low.
Yep.
It's easier to jump over a low bar than a high bar. People forget that. Put that on a quote board. I'll say my one last thing on the Bears. My positive is I think Eddie Jackson's back. Another pick. It was a sweet catch too. It was like looked like Willie Mays.
He does. He looks like his old self. He's flying around out there.
Which is honestly very confusing that he wears number 4 now. I don't like I think we mentioned it last year too. I just don't like the number changes, how like anybody can wear any number. Like I liked him better as number 39. Just because it's just made more sense.
I think he did. He almost looked like a better safety with that number, with number 39.
Well, yeah, because it also didn't help when he wore number 4 his first year. He's pretty dog shit. It was atrocious.
In his defense, like I think I heard a story recently. Did he lose a child or something like that?
I think Yeah, I think his wife had a miscarriage. I think they're saying it on the broadcast.
At least I almost want to say he lost 2 children, one to a
Yeah.
miscarriage and one at a very young age. So
Yeah, yeah, and I think he might. Yeah, he had a couple things going on in his life that you don't wish upon anyone. But
yeah, so I feel for Eddie Jackson if his turnaround is based on him being in a better place in his life, and even more power to the guy.
I agree. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go gambling picks, huh? So last week we all went 2-2. So on the season, me and Max tied for first. Both had 5-3, and Ty is sitting in last at 3-5.
He's
So
not
Ty-
sitting in first.
He's sitting everywhere but first. Ty, you're up first. What do you got? Who's your
I guess
favorite?
that's how that works, huh?
That is how that works.
Favorite? Is that what we do? Tell me.
Yeah.
Ravens -3 against Cincy.
Ooh, Sunday Night Football.
Division rival action. Lamar Jackson's that dude.
Is he?
See, I think so.
Did not look like that dude against the Bills.
No, but I mean, the Bills are a great fucking team.
That is true. All right, I'll say my favorite is Titans -2.5 against the Washington Guardians. What is Commanders? Jesus Christ.
Had to keep that good mojo, man. There you go.
Well, I said Guardians. I didn't even say the.
Well, you're
The
trying to be
R word.
correct about it.
Yeah, I was, but I couldn't even think of it. Yeah, I think Carson Wentz is just butthole. Carson Wentz has a butthole. All right, Max, your favorite.
All right. I don't know. I hate to do this, but I think I'm gonna go
Nope.
Vikings
Nope.
-7 against the Bears.
All right, if that loses, that's 2.
That probably will lose.
No, that's actually no. Actually, I'm glad you took that.
Hey,
I don't feel good about it in multiple ways.
that's just a smart bet. That's all that is. I got Lions +2.5 against the Patriots. Lions put up points, dude.
Yeah, they do.
Fun
They also
fact.
give up points.
Yeah, well, they just got to win the shootout.
What was the spread there
+2.5 Lions.
at the Patriots? I don't like that.
Pretty sure I saw a stat today that they're scoring the most points in the league and also giving up the most points in the league.
That's a fact.
Defense nowhere to be found.
That is a fact. All right, I'm gonna go back to the well. This is what I had last week. I had Jets +3.5 against the Steelers, and I'm doing it again. Jets +3.5 against the Dolphins. Zach Wilson.
You know, like Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy Two Gloves.
More like Teddy Two Cocks. Jesus. Guy's got a hog between his legs.
We've said that a few times on the show now.
About Teddy Bridgewater?
No, just about a lot of people.
I mean, have you not seen that picture of Teddy Bridgewater at Louisville?
I don't think so.
I'll text it to you.
One thing's for sure, Kyle knows hogs. Okay.
Seriously, look up Teddy Bridgewater Louisville team photo.
No thanks.
It's
This is a PG podcast, dude.
Not anymore. It's not.
There's children listening, damn it.
Not anytime you bring up Teddy Bridgewater.
Hey, speaking of, Antonio Brown had that thing out and about in that pool.
Yeah, that was
shit.
weird. That was very weird.
I didn't like that at all.
Didn't like that at all.
Yeah, they
All right.
blurred the image, but the image was like you could see him stretching it like a
completely see his
warm
cock.
Laffy Taffy.
All right, where were we? I completely
Max,
you got me
you're
way
on-
off track. I'm going
you're You're underdog.
Seattle, the Seahawks +5.5 in New Orleans.
Okay. Seahawks +5.5. I could dig that. Ty, you're over.
I'm going Bucks Falcons under 48.5.
Bucks Falcons under. Wait, over or under?
I don't have an over ready, so take my under.
Attaboy. Under 48.5. Way to just confuse the shit out of me there. All right. Well, you guys mentioned it earlier. the Lions scoring a fuck ton of points. I'm going Lions Pats over 46.5.
Yep.
Even
Good
though I
play.
know, what's Pat's quarterback's name? Bailey Zappi?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a name that puts up points. And then Max, you're over.
I'm gonna go Cowboys Rams over 45.5.
Interesting.
Cooper Rush has the boys playing.
He does have the boys playing. People forget that. All right. Ty, you're over now.
Packers Giants over 41.5.
Ooh, that's in London.
You sound like you're from London.
Sound like I'm from London.
I'm gonna go Panthers, Niners under 40. And I think that's the line right now. I don't know if it's off available because the Niners are playing right now, but that's what I'm going. I see it. I'm going
Okay.
with it.
If you see it, I trust you.
And then Max, you wrap it up. What's your
All right, I'm gonna go
What's your under?
Eagles. No, I'm not.
There he is.
I'm gonna go Bengals Ravens under 48.
Bengals, Ravens under 48. Okay. I like it too. Yeah, like I said, me and Max 5-3. Ty, you're 3-5. He started saying he had a comeback without realizing we all went 2-2 last week. So I don't know if Ty
Hey,
knows how numbers
All I'm
works.
saying is, if it comes down to it, I'll drink that milk.
It's disgusting. What did we land on for starting five?
You're all about the branding, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm all about. It's called content creation.
The team.
This guy loves Dean's.
We can go with Max's idea.
What was Max's idea?
Types of meats.
I like
Alright.
types of meats.
Plenty to go around, dude.
We could go crazy with that one.
All right, I'm good. I'm good with that. I know meat.
Yeah, you do.
All right, Max, you're the creator. You kick us off.
Damn, I get to go first.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go filet mignon.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Ty, you and your orange hat could go next. We can be very specific on this, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I
Like,
just picked a certain kind of cow. So
I'm gonna go just any kind of burger.
Oh, wow. So we're literally just keeping it generic as hell. All right.
Well, no, we don't have to.
Because I was gonna go teriyaki beef jerky as my first pick.
Ooh.
good pick.
That is a good pick. I thought we weren't just naming the most generic meats ever.
Any kind of burger, not
I'll
one
get there,
specific one.
I'll fucking get there.
And then I am gonna go flank steak.
Nice. Flank
Little-
steak is like the steak you could get at like Mexican restaurants in tacos,
yeah,
right?
just very marinated, just juicy couture. It's
Beauteous.
I'm going homemade meatballs. Specifically homemade though.
There it is, Sam. That's a good comeback. All right, I'm gonna go chicken wings.
Boneless or bone in?
Bone in, dry rub chicken wings.
No rub.
And specifically, shout out Flo and Santos here in South Loop. I just had some phenomenal wings there a couple weeks ago. Some of the best I ever had.
I had Q barbecue wings just the other day, dude. Still hold up.
Okay, I like it.
All right, and then
go
I
ahead,
get
Ty.
another one here, correct?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go. I just like a Philly cheesesteak.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Philly cheesesteak is pretty good. That's a heavy meal though. That's a food you want to eat when it's cold out.
Yep, it's a couch lock meal.
Unless you're some where you could eat that like
I could eat 3 of them bitches and go drink 12 beers about it.
swimming. Yeah, that's disgusting.
I'm going chicken parm. Chicken,
You're going
Don't hate
what?
it. Don't hate
chicken
it. That's
parm.
chicken parm is Mr. Reliable.
That is good. I can't believe I didn't take that.
Chicken parm, you taste so good.
I'm I'm gonna go with a nice slow cooked brisket where it falls off the bone.
Yep.
And then this is a personal favorite. I'm gonna go Slim Jims.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
What what meat do we actually think a Slim Jim is?
That's mystery meat.
Yeah, whatever a
what-
hot dog's made out of. And with that said, I'm gonna go a Chicago style hot dog.
That is good. Ty just going the most generic, basic picks ever, but that's good.
It's a great pick.
It is a good pick. Max, your last two.
Yeah, I'll piggyback and go with my own name here. The Maxwell Street Polish from Portillo's.
Ooh.
Grilled onions and mustard.
Ever had Maxwell Street, the restaurant?
I have not tried it, but I know what you're talking about.
Pork chop sandwich from there, dude. Killer.
Yep.
You have
It's
two here, Max. What's your last one?
Yeah, I know. I could go so many different directions. Jeez. I'm gonna go with a rack of ribs.
Piece of shit.
I like my ribs falling off the bone too.
Max likes to get messy when he eats dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are gonna laugh at this one, but it is by far the best kind of cold cut you could ever eat. And I eat it so fucking often. And every time I do, I'm just like, God, this is so fucking good. Salami.
It's not
Salami.
Any meat in the world, and he's going with salami.
A salami sandwich.
I wouldn't make fun of you for that at all. Because I had 2 salami sandwiches for lunch today.
And low key, honey mustard. That's the seals the deal right there.
All right, I think this is gonna be just a value pick overall. But I'm gonna say Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh, nice.
With gravy just drizzled all over it.
I'm glad you didn't say ham because ham's disgusting.
I mean, I like ham too, but
ham's great.
I don't know if I would have taken Thanksgiving turkey well over hot dog. I mean, we're going best meats here. We're not going just
You said
types of
Slim
meat.
Jim and beef jerky.
Yeah, that
Like I
was
said,
interesting.
best meats.
What about well, Salam screwed us when he said any kind of burger.
Yeah, I know. Like Jesus Christ.
Get specific, dude.
I wasn't gonna take like a bison burger or like a double cheeseburger from McDonald's after that.
I almost said porterhouse just to say it, just because it's a gigantic piece of meat.
Would you consider like lobster meat?
Yeah, I think I would. Or like
Yeah.
crab meat.
Okay. I mean, I don't, but I also just don't eat lobster. I mean, I don't really care.
Anti-honorable mention, anything on the Arby's menu.
The anti-Arby's top meats
You're
starting
not
5.
an Arby's fan, you're saying.
Arby's is disgusting.
I disagree. I'm really in it for the sauce.
It's
The
disgusting.
Arby's sauce is fucking phenomenal.
No. You eat Arby's?
I haven't eaten Arby's in years, but I would eat a roast beef sandwich from Arby's.
Instead of the gallon of milk thing, if you lose the football gambling, you can eat a 6-pack of Arby's roast beef and cheddar sandwiches in one sitting.
That's called a Tuesday, dog.
I'll see you on a Tuesday in January then.
Oh my god, that's so gross. I could think of
Arby's. Like, there's so many other places that I would nix off the list than Arby's.
It's down there with some of the worst fast food.
I mean, would you rather eat at Arby's or like Long John Silver?
Yeah, that's where I was thinking too. Honestly, they should just be in one building.
You know what? A lot of times they probably are.
Those two always share a
Just
parking lot.
one off the highway, like the KFC and the A&W used to do.
They share a
Like-
parking lot, and hopefully they don't share a bathroom.
Like
They
what
do
type
share the
of
salmonella though.
like what fast food joint would you rank above or would you rank Arby's above? That's like a contrarian take. Like, would you rank Arby's above like a McDonald's or a Burger King
No,
or Wendy's?
No, Wendy's is my top dog. Like if
I
I'm
don't know.
eating fast food,
I would really have to hate something, and I can't think
this-
of anything else.
This
that
is
I-
interesting. This is interesting. Give me your top. Just give me your power rankings of fast food restaurants.
Wow. So we're doing a bonus starting 5 here.
No, this is just I want Ty's power rankings of fast food restaurants.
Wendy's is number one, hands down, no questions asked.
Okay, I won't ask.
Is Chipotle considered fast food?
Nah, I'd say
I
it
would-
has to have a drive-through.
Okay.
That's a good qualifier.
Right?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. McDonald's is in my top 3 probably just because it's over reliable.
Okay, but what's number 2?
Probably Taco Bell. I like Taco Bell quite a bit. That's probably it.
So you're going. So where does Arby's rank on this? That's what I want to get at. Is where on this power rank? I mean,
Probably
Jesus
doesn't even
Christ.
crack my top 10.
You have 10 fast food
Arby's is not in your top 10, but you're defending it like it's your firstborn.
It's because everyone always shits on Arby's. Dude,
This
I
is,
mean,
this is the content
10.
people are thriving for.
this
Give me
is
your power rankings until you get to Arby's. That's what I want to know.
in
I
no
just read something
particular-
that said in 2005, an Arby's manager admitted to urinating in a milkshake mix.
It probably tasted phenomenal, better than anything they've ever served.
Technically Portillo's is fast food, so I'll throw Portillo's probably at my number 1 or 2 if we're gonna go that route.
Yeah,
That's fine. I mean, you didn't need to. If you said Arby's was better than Portillo's, that would have been the last thing you ever said.
All right, well, I'll tell you all the fast food places I'd rather eat besides Arby's.
What about Gene and Jude's?
No drive-through.
Super Dog has a drive-through.
Never been.
You got to go.
My dad fucking loves that John.
Yep.
Like what? Yeah, like I just want to know where is Arby's ranked for you? You're not giving. I don't think you're really answering the question.
That outside is top 10.
Yeah, I mean that was the answer.
It's crazy. It's asinine. That was enough. That was enough fast food talk for one episode.
Yeah, I
That's
got to go
one
to the
you-
bathroom now.
Best one yet.